Hi gang, good evening. Saturday evening. Been another eventful day, which is always good. Um, um, if I just try and give everybody a little bit of background about myself, and hope you don't mind, but I'll just try and read through some of the notes that I put down. So I'm actually 57. I've had chronic pain in my life since around about 1991. Um, then I had a lean period really up until 2004. Um, and from 1991 to 2004, I probably managed it by keeping as fit as I could and as healthy as I could. Obviously, I was a lot younger then, but from 2004, I started with some backache, some sciatica in my leg, and I was put on a course of physio through my doctor. Didn't seem to do the trick. I lost a considerable amount of weight. I kept myself walking, did everything that the physio said, and couldn't seem to get rid of the sciatica and the backache. And one thing led to another, and it seemed like the only way forward was through pain management. Not understanding what pain management was at that time. It's basically just, for me, it was medication. I started on pregabalin and oxycontin in 2005. I was on really, really high doses of oxycontin, topping the having to fill in with Oxynome in between every 4 to 6 hours, which didn't help really. But the OxyContin, the Oxynome, the pregabalin, I was on that for best part of, I think, 4 years, 5 years. During that time I had 2 back operations, which didn't help. I had 11 nerve blocks in my back, again, which didn't really help. I had radio frequency ablation treatment, whereby they sever the nerves in your back, because of all the nerve damage that I had, and that didn't work either. So in fact, that left me with some really problematic bowel and bladder problems. I carried on with the medication throughout this time, and different drugs, Oromorph, Tramadol, amitriptyline, gabapentin, tapentadol, methadone, ketamine, and various antidepressants, duloxetine, venlafaxine, fluoxetine, and wasn't much of a life really on all those drugs. Around about 5 years ago, I decided, with the help of a local hospital, that I decided to have an intrathecal pump fitted into my back, and into my stomach, Not sure if I could show you this or whether I can. So that's the pump. So I'm due to have that out May this year because the side effects that I had from the morphine that was going through it were just horrendous. Massive sores, cuts on my legs. It was just, it was crazy. It really was. So, not very long after I had the pump fitted, I started with what I thought was some toothache in the front of my face. And round about 6 to 7 months later, I was diagnosed with trigeminal neuralgia, and I ended up seeing the neurosurgeon who had actually put the intrathecal pump in for me. I don't think they could believe the fact that I'd contracted this face problem after having all the problems with my spine, and so he gave me some options, and the option that I went for was to have the microvascular decompression, which is the brain surgery. Unfortunately that didn't work, and subsequently after that I've had the balloon put into my cheek, and I've also had 40 Botox injections in my face, which left me with Bell's palsy, which you can probably notice that my mouth does tend to, it's not fully back to normal as yet, but that's really the least of my worries. So, for the face problems, because I'd had the interventions, I was on carbamazepine medication for your trigeminal neuralgia. I was taking 1,000 milligrams of that a day, and I was on ketamine for my back. I think I was on methadone as well for the nerve pain. And the quality of life was just atrocious. It really was. I was just like a zombie. And I had also started a couple of years before I had the pump fitted. They found out that I had quite severe sleep apnea. When I had my first sleep study done, I was only actually breathing for 12 seconds every minute, which was really bad. So at the time you're thinking to yourself, God blimey, what else can go wrong? You know, I had this, I had that. I couldn't go to the toilet naturally. I was having to self-catheterise. I'd been on, because of all the opiates that I'd been on, I'd had real bad problems with constipation. So I ended up having to have an operation for an hernia, whereby I was constantly straining to the toilet and taking really, really high doses of laxatives, to the point where it ended up that I had to use a Peristine pump to empty my bowel. I still use that now. I don't with it on. Although I've managed to overcome the emptying of my bladder. Occasionally when the pain gets really severe in my back, I do struggle to have a wee, but I can usually get by now. The bowel problem I don't think will ever go away. I think those problems were set off by the radio frequency ablation treatments that I had, whereby they sever the nerves, and if you imagine your hands are joined up like that and your nerves can regrow, so this sort of regrow in a different place, and I don't know, it's a crazy situation. You feel as though you need to go to the toilet, there's just nowhere that you can go. So the pump was, it's just amazing. It helps me out so much. Whilst you obviously have to put a catheter inside yourself, and you basically put a litre of water up your bottom, and the force of the water sort of brings everything down. Not a pretty subject to be speaking about, but it needs must, doesn't it? I don't take any laxatives now, and just trying to think of the timeline to get the story right. I think it was round about January, February 2018 that I was there was a breakdown in communications with the hospital and some of the medication that I was on, and I wasn't happy about being on the ketamine and the methadone, and so I came off the ketamine. I went on to tapentadol and came off the pregabalin, and it was getting crazy. And I think a few weeks went by where I was getting some of the medication, or not getting some of the medication, and the frustration of that because whilst you are dependent on it, you can't just stop taking drugs like that. You can't miss a day because you're that dependent on it, especially if you've been on it as long as I've been on it. It's 12, 13 years. And I thought to myself, something has to change here. So I decided we'd been on holiday, we'd been to the south of France. I did live out in the south of France for a while when I retired from work. We used to live out there for 6 months of the year, mainly due to the nice weather conditions. But we'd been on holiday last year, and I'd been with my sister and my brother-in-law, and I came home and we had to have some work done at home. We bought a bungalow maybe 3.5 years ago, and it needed some work doing. I just had a change in my mindset, and I thought, well, I felt capable that I could start doing some of the work, but obviously my fitness levels and everything wasn't up to what they should be, so I basically just decided to throw myself into some of the jobs that needed doing, and also to start researching people who had problems in the life, similar to mine, back problems or neurological problems, and I remember the first book that I listened to was one by David Eagleman called The Brain. I know he'd had a series on the BBC. So that's where I started. And then I got interested in the story of Dr. Joe Dispenza, and how he'd basically rebuilt his shattered body after an accident by natural means, just raw vegetables and the power of the mind and thinking positive, and he resisted having surgery and Harrington rods put into his spine, and it didn't take him that long really before he turned the injury around and he made himself well, and I think the rest is history for him. He's gone on to some fantastic things helping people, and it was a real inspiration to me because I've always been a glass half full guy, and I thought, well, if he can do it, I can do it. He's not, he's not that much different than me. It doesn't seem, although I think he was a chiropractor, and obviously he had the medical background, but by researching things I could probably do the same and help myself. And so that was the back end of May and June, and it led me to October time, and I'd come off every opiate that I'd been on. It wasn't easy. It's not easy coming off methadone when you think that methadone is the preferred drug when you're coming off other substances or opiates, strong drugs. So that was difficult, but I got through it. And whilst I might not look extremely happy at the moment, I'm trying to sort of measure my speech so that I don't get as many shocks this evening. But I can tell you, it's just a revelation as far as I'm concerned. Not relying on the drugs, not having to constantly think about the drugs, and also I changed my diet. I went on an antioxidant, plant-based smoothie diet with around about I think the very first smoothie drink that I made, I think it had 30 ingredients in it. It was crazy, with different spices, and again I looked into it via YouTube, and I love YouTube and Audible and different other things just for researching, and other things that help me as well when you're going through the dark times is I tended to listen to lots and lots of audio books and motivational videos for people who have had a lot of adversity in their life, and that inspired me and gave me strength to carry on. It really did. I got that into that way of thinking, that I wanted to get as much knowledge as I could, and trained my brain to listen to the audiobooks on double speed so that I could maybe listen to 2 books a day. I started watching videos on the mind, the brain, the body, biology, started looking into Stoicism and philosophy, and pretty much one thing tends to lead you to another. Buddhism, I've already been, I did a pain management course 8 years ago, and that led me along the path of mindfulness, which I practice every moment of every day, and I couldn't get by without it. I've done quite a few guided meditations, and I started some formal meditation training around about a year ago. That's been really good, and I've also done some, well, I'm still doing yoga. I've lost over 3 stone in weight. I feel great for that, and at 57, because of my diet and the lack of the drugs to really, which I thought was inhibiting my wellness, I do feel great. I do mindful walking, I keep active, I very rarely sit down for more than 10-15 minutes during the day. I tend to get up early in the morning. I think I've said on other videos I'm really bad at managing my time. So if I can get up earlier in the morning, and I've got more time to manage badly, which I really like the thought of. I mentioned this morning that I was going to fast today because I think when you've got trigeminal neuralgia, you do have difficulty eating, and the best thing that I've learned along this journey is to accept the pain in my life, not to fight it. I've had a lot of anger and frustration trying to fight the pain, and that hasn't helped me along the way. I don't drink any alcohol. I've never smoked in my life, but I stopped drinking alcohol about 14 years ago because I just wasn't helping my sort of recovery, and I could have a drink now, but I don't choose to. That chapter in my life is over. So I tend to try and live each day now, so I can create a better version of myself every day. It's not easy, it's tough. It takes a lot of resolve, a lot of determination, and a lot of hard work, but I think the rewards are amazing. I feel a lot better. I think my family have noticed that I'm a lot better to be around. Just one other thing that I also did, I changed all my breathing techniques because I used to breathe through my mouth, but if anybody with trigeminal will know, when it's winter time, it's really, the shock can be really bad if you do go out into the cold. So I thought, well, there must be a way to get over this. So I learned to, again, through the power of the internet, I researched how to start breathing through my nose, and again, the positives for me, being you end up with a lot more energy. When I managed to start to reduce the drugs, my wife noticed that I wasn't snoring and holding my breath in my sleep, and I haven't used my sleep apnea machine, the CPAP machine, for I would say the last well over 12 months. So the sleep apnea seems to have cleared up, which I was told I would have that for life. I think if I could pass on any message to you, it would be to, no matter how low you are, how despondent you're feeling, there's always somebody worse off than yourself. And whilst it's not a competition, it is worth knowing that there's always some hope for you. I suppose it's easy for somebody in my position who has come through the other side to say, be strong and believe in yourself, because I do realise that when you are low and you are struggling, it's not easy. I think I've got photos on Facebook from 6 years ago where I was being pushed around in a wheelchair where I couldn't walk. For the best part of 3 years I had to use a walker to walk around. Now I don't use the walker, thankfully. And whilst I would never be confident in saying that I'm over the worst, because every day is a struggle, I do feel as though there is light at the end of the tunnel for me. I'm loving life more. I lost my parents when they were relatively young through cancer, and I lost my mother-in-law when she was my dad was 48 and my mum was 53 and my mother-in-law was 52. My dad and my mother-in-law died in the same year. They both died of cancer, and my mum died 5 years later. So I realised that the trigeminal neuralgia is called the suicide disease, but I think what also makes me stronger is when I've watched both my parents take the last breath, you think to yourself, well, that is such a precious thing. I don't think I could give in to that. I think life is precious. I try as hard as I can to fill my days with happiness now. I was a senior prison officer in the prison service in the UK. So I dare say if any of my old colleagues are watching this, they probably think that's not the guy that we used to know, and I have changed beyond all recognition. I tend to live my life with love and kindness as much as I can, and if I'm not living like that, I try and correct myself as quick as I can, because I've learned that I don't like living in the state of fight or flight, the sympathetic nervous system. I far enjoy the days when I'm in the parasympathetic state and I'm more relaxed. The trigeminal neuralgia seems to settle down a little bit more. But the trigeminal neuralgia is a difficult condition to overcome. It's not easy not knowing when the next shock is going to hit you. It's not easy not being able to do a lot of the things that people take for granted. I just, let's say, not that I've got a lot of hair, but brushing your hair, brushing your teeth, having a shave, which I've never had a beard up until the back end of last year. It's growing on me now, but just trying to swell your face and have a wash. Very rare that I can have a shower because the power of the shower on my head tends to set the shocks off. But I tend not to let all of the pain that I suffer from control my life. I've spent too many years being driven around in pain. So now I drive the pain around. It's a partnership, me and the pain. I've learned to love my pain. I've learned to live with it, embrace it. It's not going to go away. It's with me forever. That doesn't frighten me. It doesn't worry me. I'm happy with that. I'm contented with that. And I think because of that, I get through the days easier. I love going to sleep, thinking, what will tomorrow bring? Apart from the pain, which I don't go to sleep and think, oh my word, I'm in for another day of pain. It's just, it comes along with me. It doesn't hinder me anymore. If I want to do something and I can't do it, I'll look at a way that I might be able to do it. And if I can't do it straight off, it might take a while, but I'll learn how to do something by perseverance and chipping away at it. A good example of that was the yoga. I do struggle sometimes getting the shocks because you tend to be moving your head and putting your head down, and when I put my head down I do get an awful lot of the shocks. But if I can't do the yoga, I'll do some meditating, and I'm going to call it a day now, or a night. 10 o'clock in the UK, and see what tomorrow brings. Obviously, there'll be the inevitable in my life, but that doesn't faze me. Nor should it faze you. Learn to love your pain. It will change your life. It really will. I've read a lot of things about the law of attraction, and I've watched I think it's The Secret on Netflix about the law of attraction, and I would not believe if somebody had told me 6 months ago, this will happen to you if you live your life in a kind, compassionate way. But things have come my way. Little things that make a difference. And thankfully, I'm not really a materialistic person. I don't want, money doesn't drive me. I really like the simple life. And I'm just glad, really, that I could share this with everybody. It gives everybody an insight into a little bit of my life. I've been married to my wife since 1980. I've got 3 grown-up sons and I've got 7 grandchildren. And as a family, we're really close. I've got two younger sisters, and I had a younger brother who died. He would have been, I think, 54 now. Excuse me. As a family, we're really close. I've got 2 nieces, and I've got 3 nephews, and I love them all to bits. And I hope that whoever watches this video, if one person could get some inspiration from it, it will have been worth all the effort that I've put in over the last 6 months in trying to change my life around for the better and passing that knowledge on to other people who are struggling. So I'm going to sign off now, and I wish you all a peaceful night, and I hope that you can all, wherever you are, learn to cope and manage your pain, wherever it is in your body, and you can live a long and happy life. Thank you for watching or listening. Peace in pain. Thank you.